The tragic love story of Orpheus and Eurydice. The sky was heavy with the weight of impending dusk, casting long shadows across the verdant hills and ancient forests. In the heart of this mystical land lived Orpheus, a musician whose melodies could stir the very soul of nature. Birds paused mid-flight to hear his songs, rivers slowed their courses, and even the mighty oak trees seemed to lean closer, their leaves trembling in rhythm with his lyre. His music was not merely sound, it was magic, weaving tales of love, sorrow, and longing. Orpheus was the son of Calliope, the muse of epic poetry, and the Thracian king Oeagrus, though some whispered that Apollo himself was his true father. From his divine lineage, Orpheus inherited an unparalleled gift for music, the gift that would become both his greatest blessing and deepest curse. It was said that no heart could remain untouched by his songs, not even the gods themselves. But even the sweetest melody cannot guard against the cruelty of fate. Eurydice was a nymph of exquisite beauty, with hair that shimmered like golden wheat under the sun and eyes that reflected the deep blue of the Aegean Sea. She moved through the forests with a grace that seemed otherworldly, her laughter blending with the rustle of leaves and the gentle murmur of streams. Though countless suitors sought her hand, it was Orpheus who captured her heart. Their love was a song of its own, pure and harmonious, a union blessed by the natural world. Flowers bloomed in their wake, and animals gathered to witness their joy. They were inseparable, their souls entwined like the vines that climbed ancient trees. It seemed that nothing could mar their happiness. But fate, indifferent to love's purity, had other plans. On a day as bright and golden as any other, Eurydice wandered through the meadow, her laughter echoing like bells in the wind. Unbeknownst to her, a venomous snake lay hidden in the tall grass. As she danced barefoot among the wild flowers, the serpent struck, its fangs sinking into her ankle. Pain seared through her body, and a cry escaped her lips, a cry that shattered the tranquility of the forest. Orpheus, who had been composing a new melody by the riverbank, heard her anguished call. Dropping his lyre, he raced toward the sound, his heart pounding with dread. But when he reached her, it was too late. Eurydice lay pale and still, the light in her eyes extinguished. Grief consumed Orpheus, a darkness deeper than any night descending upon his soul. Unable to accept her death, Orpheus made a fateful decision. He would journey to the underworld and plead for her return. It was a path few dared to tread, for the realm of Hades was a place of shadows and eternal sorrow. But love knows no boundaries, and Orpheus was willing to face any peril for the chance to bring Eurydice back. Guided by his unwavering resolve and the haunting melodies of his lyre, Orpheus descended into the dark depths of the underworld. The journey was treacherous, filled with specters and wailing souls. The river Styx stretched before him, its black waters swirling with despair. Charon, the grim ferryman, regarded Orpheus with suspicion. "No living soul may cross this river," Charon intoned, his voice as cold as the waters beneath his boat. Orpheus did not falter. He played his lyre, a melody so sorrowful and beautiful that even Charon's hardened heart was moved. The ferryman, against all protocol, allowed Orpheus to board the boat and carried him across the Styx. On the other side awaited Cerberus, the monstrous three-headed hound that guarded the gates of Hades. Its snarls echoed through the cavern, each head snapping with ferocious intent. But Orpheus, undaunted, played once more. The music wove a spell of calm, lulling the beast into a tranquil stupor. Cerberus lay down, its heads resting on the cold ground, eyes closed in peaceful slumber. Through winding tunnels and shadowed halls, Orpheus pressed on until he stood before the thrones of Hades and Persephone. The lord of the underworld, dark and formidable, regarded the mortal with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. Persephone, whose beauty was tinged with sorrow, listened intently as Orpheus spoke. "Great Hades, noble Persephone," Orpheus began, his voice steady despite the weight of his grief. "I come not to defy the laws of your realm, but to beg for mercy. Eurydice, my beloved, was taken from me too soon. Let her return to the world of the living, and I swear never to disturb your kingdom again." Hades remained silent, his expression inscrutable. But Persephone, moved by the raw emotion in Orpheus's voice and the haunting strains of his lyre, leaned toward her husband. "His love is true," she whispered. "Perhaps we might show compassion." After a long pause, Hades spoke. "You ask for what no mortal has been granted. Yet your music moves even the stones of this realm. I will allow Eurydice to return with you, on one condition. As you ascend to the world above, you must not look back at her until you have both reached the surface. If you do, she will be lost to you forever." Gratitude and trepidation warred within Orpheus, but he agreed. Eurydice appeared, her form ethereal and radiant, yet tinged with the shadows of death. Together, they began the perilous ascent, guided by the faint glimmer of the distant surface. The journey was agonizingly slow, each step fraught with tension. Orpheus's heart raced with a mixture of hope and fear. He longed to look back, to reassure himself that Eurydice was truly there, but he knew the price of such a mistake. Her footsteps echoed softly behind him, a fragile reminder of her presence. The path grew steeper, the air thinner. Doubt crept into Orpheus's mind. What if Hades had deceived him? What if Eurydice was not truly following? The temptation gnawed at his resolve, each step a battle against the urge to turn. As they neared the threshold of the living world, the strain became unbearable. The light of the surface beckoned, promising freedom and reunion. Orpheus took one final step into daylight, but in that fleeting moment, doubt triumphed over caution. He turned. Time seemed to freeze. Eurydice's eyes met his, filled with love and sorrow. She reached toward him, but her form began to dissolve, pulled back into the shadows. A gasp escaped her lips as she was torn away, her final words lost to void. "No!" Orpheus cried, his voice breaking with despair. He lunged forward, but it was too late. Eurydice was gone, her presence reduced to an echo that lingered in the depths of the underworld. Grief-stricken, Orpheus wandered the earth, his music now a dirge of endless sorrow. The world that had once rejoiced in his melodies grew silent, mourning alongside him. Birds no longer sang, rivers wept, and even the trees bowed their heads in sorrow. Orpheus's despair led him to shun the company of mortals. He roamed wild and untamed, his heart forever broken. In time, he met a tragic end at the hands of those who could not understand his grief, his body torn apart and scattered across the land. Yet even in death, his music lived on, carried by the winds and whispered through the forests. The gods, moved by his suffering, placed his lyre among the stars, where it became the constellation Lyre. There, it would shine for eternity, a testament to the enduring power of love and the sorrow of loss. The tale of Orpheus and Eurydice is one of beauty and tragedy, a reminder that even the purest love can be tested by fate. Though their time together was brief, their story lives on, immortalized in song and starfire, a haunting melody that echoes through the ages. Thanks for watching. What other myths would you like to explore? Comment below and join us next time for more mythical adventures.